Hi, my beautiful kings and queens. Welcome back to my channel. So, kings and queens, your girl is back with another word today. So, I heard the Lord saying, God says that you have already received that thing. He says that very thing that you have been asking Him for. He says that you have already received it in the spirit. So, kings and queens, God says that He says, for the scripture says, ask and you shall receive. So, if you have not yet received that thing, God says that means that you have not asked Him for it. He says that means that you have not yet put in the work to receive the blessing. But God says that He says that His children shall lack nothing. He says that His children shall eat from the fruit of His land. So, kings and queens, God says you have already received that thing. He says that that thing is already about to happen for you. He says that the blessing had to be delayed because you weren't ready for it. The blessing had to be delayed because you were not in the right season. But God says now that He has planted and rooted you in that certain place, now that He has planted and rooted you in that particular season, God says that you are ready to receive the blessing. He says that you have gotten your mind right. He says that your heart posture has been fixed. He says that you have now been able to receive the blessing because you have been faithful to Him, because you have been obedient to His word, because you have followed His commandments. God says that you are about to receive the blessing. You are about to receive that very thing that you have been asking Him for. So, kings and queens, we need to prepare ourselves for the blessing. We need to prepare ourselves for the thing that we are praying for. God says you must get yourself in alignment for the blessing. He says you must get yourself in alignment to receive the blessing. He says that in this season, He says that his children are going to eat from the fruit of His land. He says that His children are going to receive the very best of the best. So God says, get your heart posture right. He says that you're about to receive that very thing that you have been asking Him for. He says that there is more that you are about to receive, but He said He had to get your mind right. He had to make sure that you weren't going to run off with the blessing. He had to make sure that you were going to stay committed to the instructions that He has given you. God said He wants to make sure that you are committed to the job. You are committed to the work that He has given you to do. God says that there is an assignment connected to your name. He says that there is glory, there is generational wealth connected to your name, as I always say. So, kings and queens, get yourself in a line to receive the blessing. God says that in the season, He says that you are about to level up in the kingdom. He says that there is about to be more for you to receive. He says that you are reaching the stepping ladder. He says that you are about to receive that thing that they never thought that you would have. He says that some people doubted you. He says your family didn't believe that it was in you. He says your friends, they didn't know that you hold this gift inside of you. But God says that He's about to show the people. He's about to show the people around you the gift that He has placed in you. God says that you are about to take off in the kingdom. He says that check has already been deposited into your account. He says that you have already received that promotion on your job. He says that you have already been approved for that house. Whatever it is that you are asking God for, He says that you are about to receive it in the kingdom. He says because you have been committed to Him, because you have followed His instructions, God says that you are about to receive that very thing that you have been asking Him for. So, kings and queens, ask and you shall receive. Ask and God shall make it happen for you, because God is not a man that He shall lie. God is not a man that He shall forsake His children. God has never forsaken any of His children. Sometimes God teaches us a learning lesson. Sometimes God teaches us the hard way, but God has never forsaken us. Sometimes we're in seasons where we feel as though that God is not hearing us. But God hears everything that you ask for. God hears all of your cries. He hears all of your heartache. He feels the pain that you feel inside. He knows what you are going through. But God says sometimes He has to teach us the hard way. Sometimes we have to get back in alignment with Him, because the world will cause you to drift off from God. The world will cause you to lead astray the thing that God has placed in you. But God says that you cannot be conformed to this world. He says that you cannot be conformed to this world, but you must be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So God said that He had to get you back in alignment with your purpose. He had to get you back in alignment with the assignment that He has placed on you. So, kings and queens, be prepared. God says that you are about to move. I hear the Lord saying that Some of us have been asking God where we should move to. Some of us have been asking God, should we make that next step? But God says that he's about to reveal that thing to you. He's about to give you the answer that you have been asking him for. God says that he's about to show you in your spirit. He's about to give you the clarity that you need to move to the next level, to move to that next place. He says that you are about to receive that very thing, kings and queens. So know that God is about to bless you. God says that his children shall lack nothing. God says, though you have been conflicted, though you have been of the world, God says that you must continue to lead. He says that you must continue to get back in alignment with him. You must continue to know that there is more connected to your name. God says that there's generational wealth connected to your name. So kings and queens, I love you all so much. And God says that he's about to blow your mind in this season. He says he's about to bless you like no other. So I will be seeing you all in tomorrow's video. And like I always say, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, my kings and queens.